to the graduation ceremony of the Northern Adirondack class of 2003. Tonight we have with us a very special guest. Mr. William Scott, our school superintendent, Mr. Campbell, the president of the Board of Education, and the rest of the members of the board. We also have many teachers and administration with us tonight. I would like to thank all of you for coming out tonight. As I stand here before you on this night of both sadness and happiness, I contemplate the many things I can say. Much of the happiness within us all is being overcome by our sadness. But remember that in life we must take the good with the sad. We have to think of everything in the best possible way. For your sad parents out there, the future that many parents have dreaded for years, the day we leave for college, or we leave home to start our first full-time job. This day should not be a day of sadness, it should be a day of bliss. Now parents, remember the day when we were all 1 or 2 and you watched us for the first time crawl or walk? You picked us up looking to our young eyes and you wished upon us the greatest life you could imagine? Remember that thought, that moment? It was that moment we must think of as we all walk across the stage. For everything that you have shown us and taught us is going to allow us to live that life, the life that you wished upon us. For you're not only our parents, you are our creators. You are the reason we all stand here before you today. So on behalf of everyone standing on the stage, thank you, parents. Friends, as I look at each and every one of you, many things run through my mind. I'm sure the same run through yours. I wonder what will happen next. What is in store for me? Will we ever see each other again? Many of these questions cannot be answered. We will always be together in one way or another. We will never be apart because of our memories. Through these past 13 years, we have created such an amazing friendship that at the heart we will never be apart. So we leave each other this summer to travel. We each go our separate paths. Remember our memories, the good and the bad. But the day we all come back, it will be great. So for my fellow classmates and my lifelong friends, I leave you with this today. Life is to be fortified with many friendships. To love and to be loved is the greatest happiness of existence. I would like to thank you all for that sort of happiness. We entered this school 13 years ago, young children with avid energy. We spent many hours in this school, taking tests, doing homework. And after guiding development and education, we graduate tonight. For this, we have to thank the school and its administration. Also, on behalf of the NAC class of 2003, I'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of our teachers. From the times you are mad at us for talking in class and fooling around, to the times you sincerely ask us to be careful on prom night. Every little thing you did for us will never be forgotten. Your leadership and your knowledge have pushed us to be our best, and we thank you for your inspiration. I personally would like to thank Mrs. Labarge and Mr. Dumas for being our class advisors. You are our leaders and have brought us together for prom and for our fundraisers. Thank you both from the class. Tonight we will walk across the stage for the last time. We have had our fun and our grief. We will always have NAC in our hearts and in our minds. For the last time before we graduate, I would like to introduce to you the Northern Adirondack class of 2003.
As members of the class of 2003, you will receive well-deserved congratulations from many people regarding your graduation tonight. This is certainly one of those times in life when you have reached a goal set for yourself years before. It is also an excellent point at which to begin fashioning your goals for the future. I wish to spend the next few minutes thinking about your goals for the future and tell you the one secret to achieving them. Only one citizen may become president of the United States every 4 years, but just about everybody sitting here tonight could be a success in thousands of different ways if he put his mind to it. Millions of people have talents they have never developed and abilities that are never put to use. My aim is to challenge you to get out of the large mass of just average into that small bracket of excellence. My hope is that I might somehow be able to strengthen your determination to move up into the class of superior performers who are going to reap most of the honors provide most of the leadership, occupy the best positions, and make the most significant contribution to the wider community in the future. You could and you should be in that top bracket if you decide to apply to your own future the point I'm about to make. Excellence usually is not, as some mistakenly believe, an endowment of nature. The born genius hardly counts in the number of people that get to the top. Nor is excellence the result of terrific exertion. Excellence is almost always gained by a fairly small extra effort, of which just about everybody is capable if only he had the will and tried it. Let me illustrate. Years ago, the Hanover Bank in New York City put up for sale the finest racehorse in the world. The name of the horse was Nashua, and it came from the stable of William Woodward Jr. The bank announced that it would receive sealed bids and sell to the highest bidder. A group of financiers pooled over $1,200,000 and got the horse. But there was another bid, which also got special attention. It was a letter from a 12-year-old girl, Karen McGuire, who enclosed her life savings of $24.03, with a note explaining that she would be glad to get a horse that no one will buy. The officers of the bank were touched by this girl's request, collected $600, and bought Karen a nice saddle horse. Now, I'm going to ask you to consider this. The racehorse Nashua at $1,200,000, compared with Karen's horse of only $600, was 2,000 times more expensive. Do you think it could run 2,000 times faster? Certainly not. In a miles race, Nashua would get to the finish line at the most a few seconds sooner than any average saddle horse. Note the small gap between just average and superior, and the huge reward for that little difference. Being just a little faster made Nashua over $1 million more valuable than the average horse. And that's true in other cases. A little difference will make a big difference. In sports, the difference between superstardom and average status may mean thousands and even millions in terms of salary or winnings. In golf, the difference between the number 1 and number 50th ranked players on the PGA Tour this year is an average difference of only 2 strokes. This equates to a difference of over $3,300,000 in winnings for the first half of 2003. In baseball, the difference between a 300 hitter and a 250 hitter is 1 hit per week. This may mean over $1 million during contract negotiations. In tennis, the difference between the salaries earned for the number 1 ranked female player this year and the number 10 ranked female player is over $1,300,000 for the first half of 2003. In the business world, the salary difference between 2 salespersons for the same company or 2 executives in the same profession can differ dramatically. You'll find this true in life wherever you go. What's the difference between the average student and the honor roll student? Does the honor roll student know 100 times as much, work 100 times harder than the average? Let's not be ridiculous. The superiority of the honor roll student is a mere fraction above average, maybe 20% at best. If the average student rates 70 to 75%, 20% above that is a rating of 90 to 95%, and that certainly would put him or her in the top bracket of the class. Consider term papers or projects. Does excellence take 3 or 4 times as much effort? No. Often the difference is trifling. Maybe the checking a paper once for errors, or rewriting a few pages for greater neatness, or consulting a couple of more references. I was thinking when I wrote this that a fellow student of mine at college had to repeat a course because he always came late for class, and the teacher finally got fed up and wouldn't pass him. How late did he really come? My recollection is that he was never more than a minute or two late, but the small irregularity annoyed the teacher enough to flunk him. A very small additional effort would have in that case made the difference between failing and passing with honors. Let me assure you that it's the same in the professional world, in business, in the arts, and in sports. In one of the nation's most progressive companies, all the employees are rated for accuracy, promptness, getting along with others, and so forth. Every worker has a test score, which is studied and considered seriously by the personnel department. The average worker, in order to stay on the job, must perform at 80% of standards. Those who get the top rating for promotions aren't 2 or 3 times better than that. They're just 5 to 10% above average. Yet, because of a small difference in effort, some of them will, in time, earn salaries 10 times as much as the average worker. One high-priced executive with a reputation for hard work revealed the secret to his success. He wrote, "You will never see me watch the clock when work is still undone. Let the other fellows quit at 5. I'll wait till 5:01. You see, best is not twice as good as average, but just a little better than good. And yet the reward for it is disproportionately high. Indeed, I can say to you tonight, the world vastly overpays for small measure of superiority." Many of our young people are easily discouraged. They complain of bad luck, or deep down in their hearts are afraid that they just haven't got it. An African proverb says, "Any fool can count the apples on a tree, but it takes a very wise man to tell you how many trees there are in an apple." Nobody knows the potential powers and abilities that are locked up inside of each of us on this stage tonight. After physicist Ryan Fryman won the Nobel Prize for his work, he visited his old high school, and while there, decided to look up his records. He was surprised to find that his grades were not as good as he remembered them, and he got a kick out of the fact that his IQ was 124, not much above average. Dr. Fryman said that winning the Nobel Prize was one thing, but to win it with an IQ of only 124 was really something. Most of us would agree, because we all assume that the winners of the Nobel Prizes have exceptionally high IQs. Dr. Fryman decided that he always thought he did. If Dr. Fryman had known he was really just a bit above average in the IQ department, we wonder if he would have had the audacity to launch the unique creative research experiments that would eventually win him the greatest recognition the science community can give. Perhaps not. Maybe the knowledge that he was a cut above average, but not in the genius category, would have influenced what he had tried to achieve. After all, from childhood, most of us have been led to believe that ordinary people don't accomplish extraordinary feats. Most of us fall short of our potential because of little things we know or assume about ourselves. And the most self-defeating assumption of all is that we are just like everyone else. Potential isn't on the surface. It is easy to look at you tonight and perhaps pick that out. But let me give you some examples. Walt Disney was rejected when an editor decided young Disney had no artistic ability. Hollywood producers originally turned down a script entitled Gone with the Wind. Bankers refused to finance the toy that inventor Alexander Graham Bell would later introduce as the telephone. Ray Charles is blind. Lincoln couldn't spell. Daniel Webster was shy. Franklin Delano Roosevelt failed his exams in law school. Benjamin Franklin was such a mathematical dunce, his father took him out of school at the age of 10. The list could go on. The secret key that opens up your full potential is persistent effort. Thomas Edison attributed his many inventions not to his genius, but to his hard work and persistence. Once he assigned a special problem to one of his brightest assistants. The young man worked on it many weeks and finally came back to Mr. Edison completely discouraged and disgusted. He said, Mr. Edison, I have made 500 experiments and found nothing. You are wrong, young man, Mr. Edison said. You have found 500 ways that won't work, and that too is important to know. The young assistant went back to work and soon made the invention he had hoped for. Tonight, I have shared with you the one secret of many successful people. People who have learned that persistent effort is the single most important reason for their success and happiness. Across generations, it is universally recognized that success comes from persistent effort, and that a little extra effort has made thousands of average people very successful. Class of 2003, as you continue to work and strive for excellence, no effort will be wasted. Even your setbacks and failures will be stations on your road to success. They will teach you what not to do, and little by little, you will get closer to the right way, to the higher skill, to superior performance, and to success, to excellence. May God bless each of you in your pursuit of excellence. Good luck and best wishes for a future filled with success and happiness.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. At this time, it is my pleasure to present a number of awards and scholarships to members of the class of 2003. Before I do, I would like to express to this, our 33rd graduating class, my personal best wishes for every success and happiness in your futures. This evening, we have both awards and scholarships to be given. I have plaques to award to our valedictorian and co-salutatorians in recognition of their outstanding academic achievement. The first plaque is awarded to Brian Trombley, our valedictorian. Brian, if you can hold. Presented to Brian Trombley in recognition of outstanding academic achievement. Valedictorian class of 2003, Northern Adirondack High School. The salutatorian plaques are awarded to Kristen Canning and Andrew Sheehan. Kristen and Andrew, you come forward. After 4 years of high school, the difference in their average was 1/100th of a point. I would like to read the inscription on the plaques. Presented to Andrew Sheehan in recognition of outstanding academic achievement, co-salutatorian, class of 2003, Northern Adirondack High School. And also presented to Kristen Cannon in recognition for outstanding academic achievement, co-salutatorian, class of 2003, Northern Adirondack High School. The Dean Benson Memorial Award has returned to Northern Adirondack for the second time in the last 3 years. Justin Gardner has been recognized as a Class C male student athlete and will receive a $500 award from the Benson family. Justin, I have a letter for you from Dean's wife, Aletta. Would you come forward, please? One of the most prestigious honors that we present at graduation is the Army Reserve's National Scholar Athlete Award. The Army Reserve, along with the school's administration, select one male and one female graduate for this award, which consists of a certificate and a very handsome medallion. Our first recipient earned her varsity letters in soccer, cheering, and softball. She's been a member of the National Honor Society, Key Club, and served as vice president of the French Club. She's been very active in the Altona Ladies Firemen's Auxiliary and Altona Kids Club. The female recipient is Kristen Cannon. He has earned varsity letters in soccer, wrestling, and baseball. He has been a member of the National Honor Society, serving as its president, student council, French club, Key Club, and vice president of his class. He has also attended boys state and been active in youth sports for the town of Adirondack. Our male recipient is Brian Trumbull. The United States Marine Corps has recognized 3 of our seniors. First, Henry Reed, would you come forward, please? The Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence presented to Kenneth LeGree by the United States Marine Youth Foundation Incorporated and the Marine Corps League in recognition of diligence, dedication, and musical excellence as a performing high school bandsman and soloist. Congratulations. Justin Gardner, would you come forward? The United States Marine Corps takes pleasure in presenting the Distinguished Athlete Award to Justin Gardner for displaying courage, poise, self-confidence, and leadership as a high school athlete. Krista Juber, would you come forward? The United States Marine Corps takes pleasure in presenting the Distinguished Athlete Award to Krista Juber for displaying courage, poise, self-confidence, and leadership as a high school athlete. At this time, I will announce the donors of awards and scholarships and the names of the recipients. Please hold your applause until I've completed announcing all awards. The Catholic Daughters of America, Court Little Rose, are getting 2 $300 scholarships this year. The winners are Brian Trombley and Aubrey Purdy. The Ellenburg Center Fire Department has instituted a $300 award, and the recipient is Nick Boyer. The Altona Volunteer Fire Department has established 2 scholarships in the amount of $200 each, and they will go to Krista Juber and Andrew Bertrand. The Sunderland Scholarship in the amount of $250 per year for 4 years is given in memory of Helen LeGree Sunderland, who lived and worked in our school district for many years. Brian Trombley receives this award. This is the 27th year for a memorial award in honor of William F. Patton, former president of the Board of Education. The recipient of the $100 award is Rebecca Adriano. The Morrow family has donated 2 $250 awards in memory of their son Dennis. Justin Gardner, Krista Juber will receive those awards. The Northern Adirondack School District employees honor the memory of the past district principal, Bernard P. Herrick, with a $100 award to Andrew Sheehan. The Northern Adirondack Teachers Association honors John W. Herrick, former superintendent of schools, with 5 $350 awards. They go to Christy Brown, Corey Violet, Kristen Canning, Brian Trombley, and Ryan Blonder. The Ellenburg Kiwanis Club awards $300 scholarships to George Stiefel, Ryan Blondo, Danielle Trombley, Aubrey Perrier, and Brian Lester. The family of Harold Tapp Moore has established a $350 award to be presented to an outstanding student who majored in agriculture. Mr. DeMore was a former principal and superintendent of the Northern Adirondack School System. This year, the award goes to Danielle Trombley. The staff and students of the Northern Adirondack School District have established a $150 scholarship in memory of our former colleague and teacher, Paschal Spalding. Outstanding ability in mathematics is a criteria. Bradley Lombard receives this award. This is the 17th year of the Barry Livermore Memorial Scholarship, established by the Northern Adirondack Teachers Association. The $350 award to a student who is pursuing a career in science or mathematics is given to Christopher Morales. A scholarship in memory of Ronald Patton in the amount of $100 and awarded on the basis of scholarship and athletic performance goes to Kristen Cannon. This is the 16th year of a $250 award donated by the Altona Alumni Association, and Krista Jubert is the winner. Church, youth activities, high moral character are the requirements for the area Protestant Christian Church Scholarship of $300. This award goes to Trevor Finley. Troy Revenue, Brian Trombley, Kelby Moore, Sarah Gowett, and Stephanie Barron are the recipients of scholarships in the amount of $100 each, donated by the Wrestling Booster Club. Leadership, scholarship, and service to one's school, church, and community are the criteria for awarding the Alice E. Carter Memorial Scholarship. The $200 award is given to Ashley McNeil. The Mary A. and David A. Boda Memorial Scholarship for $200 is awarded to a student who attends church and is of high moral character in school, community, and church. This year's recipient is Corey Bynum. The Parent-Teacher Organization scholarships in the amount of $200 go to Andrew Sheehan and Justin Gardner. The Fillmore W. King Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250 is designated for a student pursuing a nursing or related career in medicine. This award goes to Stacey Miner. This is the 13th year for the Jerome Dowd Memorial Scholarship. Criteria for this $300 award is high moral character, leadership, and scholarship. The recipient is Andrew Bertrand. The Douglas Duproff Scholarship in the amount of $250 and designated for a student interested in the field of medicine is awarded to Rebecca Pedriano. Ashley Weeks is the recipient of a $250 Petrashun Gedabesky Memorial Scholarship. The Michael Montgomery Memorial Scholarship, based on student leadership, scholarship, and service, in the amount of $250 is awarded to Ryan Blondo. The family of Tara Lynn Bushy have established a graduation award in her memory in the amount of $200. The recipient is Corey Bilo. Krista Filion and Corey Bilo will each receive $500 from the Terry L. Revenue Memorial Scholarship Fund. Leadership and scholarship are the criteria for the John Chilton Memorial Scholarship. The $200 award goes to Ashley McNeil. Leadership, scholarship, and high moral character are the criteria for the Charles D., Sarah A., and John D. Munsell Scholarships. $1,000 awards will be given to Brian Trombley, George Stiefel, and Ryan Blondo. A memorial scholarship in the name of Helen Hogan Brown in the amount of $500 and awarded to a student majoring in physical education goes to Stephanie Barrett. The Fraser Bushy Memorial Scholarship for $200 will be awarded to Ashley Weeks. The Jamie Lynn Rada Memorial Scholarship for $250 is awarded to Elizabeth Boyd. Brethren Lombard and Danielle Tremblay will each receive a $500 award from the Northern Lights VFW Post 8793. The Ellenberg Knights of Columbus awards a scholarship in the amount of $200 to Corey Bible. Krista Filion will receive the $200 Winfred Petrashun Memorial Scholarship. Danielle Tremblay will receive the John L. Frenier Award for $100. Corey Bilo will receive a $300 award from the Clinton Masonic Charities. This year's Carrie Gregory Memorial Award for $100 goes to Brian Trombley. This is the 6th year for a memorial scholarship in the name of Phil Taylor. Troy Revenue will receive $1,000, and Christy Drown and Danielle Tremblay will receive $500 each. The Bruce L. Prairie Memorial Scholarships in the minimum amount of $500 each will go to Christy Drown, Krista Fillion, Trevor Finley, Mike Flanagan, Aubrey Courier, and Patricia Eusitis. This year, 4 students are recognized by the New York State Merit Scholarship for academic excellence. Timothy Spinner will receive $1,500. Brian Trombley, Andrew Sheehan, and Kristen Canning will each receive $500 per year for 4 years. Evelyn Watson Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $200 is awarded to Krista Fillion. Danielle Tremblay is the recipient of both the Northern Adirondack FFA Scholarship and the FFA Alumni Scholarship. This is the 4th year for the New York Lottery Leaders of Tomorrow Scholarship recognition. The $4,000 scholarship is awarded to George Stiefel. 2 $500 scholarships from the New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association are awarded to Stephanie Barron and Stacy Miner. The family of Sarah Michelle Peckrell has established a $200 scholarship in memory of their daughter. This year's recipient is Ashley McNeil. The Harry and Beatrice LeBombard Scholarship was established 2 years ago. Corey Bilo has been chosen as the recipient of this $200 award. This is the 3rd year of a $200 scholarship in memory of William Dominic. Brian Tremblay is the recipient. Kristen Canning has been awarded a $250 scholarship from the Altona Kids Club. The Dannemora Federal Credit Union awards Kristen Canning and Andrew Sheehan $250 per year for 4 years. The Ellenburg Depot Firemen's Auxiliary awards 2 $100 scholarships. The recipients are Patricia Eusitis and Brian Lesser. The custodial staff of North Adirondack Central School has selected Christopher Morales to receive their $200 scholarship. This year's recipient of the $200 Jerry Matthews Memorial Scholarship is Trevor Finley. George Stiefel has been selected to receive a $500 scholarship donated by Coca-Cola. 2 of our seniors have been selected for North Country Upward Bound Dollars for Scholars Awards. The winners of these $500 awards are Michael Flanagan and Ashley McNeil. The class of 2001 instituted a $100 scholarship in memory of Jerry Matthews. This year the award goes to Patricia Eusitis. The federal Robert C. Byrd Honors Scholarship Program is intended to promote student excellence and achievement by awarding scholarships of up to $1,500. This year, Timothy Spinner has been selected to receive a $1,500 award. The Clinton County Association of Highway Superintendents presents a $500 scholarship in the name of Gerald LeBaire to Brian Tremblay. The Viola M. Baxter Teacher Scholarships for $250 each are awarded to Ashley McNeil and Andrew Sheehan. Aaron Dubray is the recipient of a $200 Altona Rockside Senior Citizens Club Scholarship. This year, the Basketball Coaches Association of New York presents a $400 scholarship to Corey Bottom. Ashley McNeil will receive a $100 scholarship from the Upward Bound Faculty. This year, the Clinton Community College Foundation Scholarship, amounting to 1/2 tuition, is presented to Stephanie Barron. The International Association of Approved Basketball Officials Scholarship of $500 is awarded to Corey Bottom. Brian Lester is a recipient of the Sage Leadership Award, totaling $6,000. Our congratulations to all of you. I would like to say on behalf of all of us at Northern Adirondack Central that we are most grateful to the individuals and to the organizations who were so generous with their scholarships and donations. The list of scholarship donors and the recipients will be available in the cafeteria following graduation. Also, NBT has generously provided a graduation gift to each member of the class of 2003. These gifts are on the table in the cafeteria and may be picked up by the seniors after graduation. At this time, it is my pleasure to announce to the President of the Board of Education that the 61 students seated on the stage have met the requirements of the State of New York and of the Northern Adirondack School for a high school diploma. Mr. Jack Campbell will now present the graduates with their diplomas. Mr. Campbell. The Board of Education has asked Mr. Howard Jennings to take a picture of each graduate as the diploma is presented. This official photograph will be sent to each senior as a memento of this special occasion. People coming up front to take pictures are asked not to move in front of Mr. Kenny's camera. And also, please hold your applause until all the graduates receive their diplomas. Timothy Michael Spinner. Kelby Hannah Moore. Jared Andrew Middleton. Aubrey Elizabeth Purrier. Ryan Michael Blanco. Krista Michaela Filio. Stephen Jovan Thomas. Patricia Ann Dusitis. George Theodore Stephen. Kristen Ann Cannon. Stephanie Nicole Vernon. Sean Valentin Burke. Danielle Ashley Trombley. Justin Farnham LaFountain. Krista Lee Huber. Corey Allen Byron. Sarah Jo Gowett. Jacob Daniel Dubray. Corey Weston Martin. Kristen Megan Sampete. Christopher Michael Morales. Ashley Elizabeth McNeil. Matthew Wilfred Brasson. Danielle Lee Barnett. Bradley Richard LeBumba. Cassandra Joelle LeBumba. Jennifer Lee Deacons. Michael Joseph Cook. Christy Lynn Brown. Alexander Samuel Quinette.
Come on now, you damn redneck.
Ashley Ann Weeks. Andrew Jared Bertrand. Amanda Ariel Stoll. Troy Harold Rabin. Nicholas Christian Hoyer. Madonna Lee Bertrand. Sean Michael Gadden. Jennifer Ann Dalton. Andrew James Sheen. Erin Melissa Dubray. Lee Ray LaValle Jr. Michael St. Dollar. Ashley Lynn Purdy. Justin Michael Gardner. Rebecca Ann Adriana. Trevor Douglas Finney. Chantel Marie Kizan. Brian Joseph Trombley. Elizabeth Marie Boyer. Kenneth Leon Legree III. James David Shelton. Byron Albert Lagoy. Michael David Flanagan. Dusty Michael Clark. Bobby Joseph Trombley. Thomas Archibald Henry. Patrick Dennis Provost. Daniel Peter Vokolak. Donna Marie Perry. Brian David Lester. Stacy Lynn Minor. The Northern Adirondack graduating class of 2003.
Gathered today, some feel it is a solemn occasion. At this time, the ceremony is concluding and a new beginning is staring us, class of 2003, in the eyes. Some of us may be full of tears because of this new beginning, which leaves us only to wander into the unknown to find ourselves in our destiny. A wise person spoke on the topic of fearing the onsets of one's future. Do not live in the fear of what the future may hold. Live in the anticipation of the new opportunities that lie ahead. The future of all of us is concealed within our choices. Just as our choices brought us here tonight to this stage, but not alone did we bring ourselves here. Our parents, our grandparents, our families, and our friends all influenced those decisions that allowed us to become who we are today. Now a handful might tremble at the thoughts of leaving the cliques and friendships already made. Yet take it as an onset to discover a new niche for oneself and society. If you can recall when you walked into the door of kindergarten on the first day, what did you feel? Scared, alone, fearful of the unknown? Nevertheless, you sit here tonight on this stage with those same individuals, your classmates. Without those chances you took, you would not have made those new friends, your memories you cherish, or the adventures you partook in. Would you not want to push yourself to take those same chances as you did then? So that you could have even more glorious memories and friendships to cherish. Now, each as individuals, we all will soon embark onto that first day of college, or a new job, or another opportunity of furthering one's education. You may become overwhelmed with the feelings of being scared, alone, and fearful of that unknown place. Just think of the possibilities of the people you will meet, memories and adventures that you will make. In the Dr. Seuss books, oh, the places you'll go, his writings encompass all the advice a graduating senior could look for. Reminding us to take chances. He warns us that there might be slumps and bumps on our way. It's all right to get scared, and that you may be alone, but to look for the good life, to look for the good in life. He also writes, congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name, Buxbaum or Bigsby or Bray or Martika, Alexander, Allen, O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. My fellow classmates of the class of 2003, I congratulate you on graduating and all your accomplishments throughout the year.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabbed you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
It's Calvin Castine. We're going to hook up our external microphone. We're using the camera mic at the moment. This, Bud Maggie just singled. Jim Collins is at the plate. And he has just wrapped a single. The game starting close to half an hour late. Morrisonville. I think it's Keysville, Morrisonville, Morrisonville, Keysville against Shazy. The straightaway center. Advanced both runners. Batter was Kevin Baker. Now Mike Stranahan steps in. Still working on getting our microphone hooked up. Bob Misek delivers. The ball hit through the left side. We'll chase home 2 runs. And now Justin Burrell is the batter. Hopefully our audio has improved a bit. Burrell lines it off the glove of the whoop, but a pickle. Gonna lose him back at second. They got him. He's like the bark home for the out. Ball went off the glove of Gary Barkholm, the third baseman. Then Parent went over and picked it up, and rest is history. This is Bill Todd in Morrisonville, Keysville, first baseman. Pops it up. Gonna drop in. Paul Parent comes in. Fires it back in. Now Erica Stranahan. Mosquitoes are out tonight in Shazy. Foul.
Dig, Bubba, dig.
Let me select the Bosley. We're going to the bottom of the first. Tonight, the Morrisonville Keysville team playing with just 9 players. Chris Baker will lead off for Shazy on the bottom of the first. And I think we're finally organized here. We were still getting the Morrisonville Keysville lineup. We didn't get their lineup till the last player arrived, and as soon as he arrived, they started the game. So that caused us to be helter-skelter as the top of the first started. This is Paul Parent, the left fielder. Giving the Morrisonville Keysville defense. Buddy Maggie is pitching. Erica Stranahan is the catcher. First base is Bill Todd. Second base, Jim Collins. Shortstop is Kevin Baker. Third base, Stephen Brown. Outfield, left to right, Mike Stranahan, Bill Stranahan, and Justin Burrell. Morrisonville Keysville 2. Shazy at bat in the first inning. Plenty of ragweed around here at Shazy School. Hit to the right side. Taken by the right fielder, Justin Burrell. And now Craig Bosley, the first baseman, will bat. Ward Dwight calling balls and strikes. Clinton County Firemen's softball, next to the last game of the season. Regular season, that is. Playoffs will start in August. This game being played on July 22nd. High fly ball. Looks playable. Burl is there. We have 2 down. And now the shortstop, Dan Parent, will step in. Overcast. We've had a lot of rain.
The others was just practice. You're all right now, Chris.
Parent got all of that one and then some. This just might tie the ball game all the way to the bus garage. He's hustling around, and here's the throw. He will score. It's a 2-2 ball game. The Shazy pitcher, Bob Misek, the batter. And a pitch from Maggie. Nice to see Gerard Dupree has come in from the big city to take in the game. He and Geraldine, faithful viewer supporters. This is viewer-supported television, and we only had half of our viewers supporting us. Maybe doing well, but unfortunately it's about 5% or less in the overall picture. That means 95% of you watching right now do not support hometown cable, and probably a bunch of those have no intention of ever doing it, but a lot of them just mean to and never get around to it. Here's Lee Barkholm. So, if you're watching this, why not get in the habit of supporting the local television. 1477 Ridge Road is the address in Champlain. Barkholm hits a high fly ball. Looks playable in center. It is. So Shazy comes up with 2. It's 2-2. We're going to the second. A lot of young fans enjoying the game tonight. Even got one hidden over there. One guy getting beat up over there. Whoop, what we got here? We got a batter. Nobody told me. Let's see. This is Stephen Brown. Stephen Brown at the plate. A line shot. This could be trouble. It's going to be a gapper. He's going to get a 3-bagger, maybe a home run. They're going to send him. That's a home run for Steve Brown. Now Bill Stranahan. Fair ball, fair ball. Holt's claw up, throw to first, not in time. Okay, Bob Misek is pitching for Shazy. Denise Holtzclaw is behind the plate as Buddy Maggie steps in. Now let's see, at first base it's Craig Bosley. Second baseman is Lee Barkholm. Soft little blooper. I'll put runners at the corners. Little base hit for Maggie. Maggie has a courtesy runner for him. I'll bring up Jim Collins, the second baseman. Ball one. Let's see, we got as far as Lee Barcombe. Shortstop is Dan Parent. Third base is Gary Barcombe. Get to left field to Paul Parent. He's chasing it all the way to the warning track out there, and they're going to send him. Look out. He's going to have to go back. Oops, he is. I think he missed. I think he is safe. May have pulled something. Grass is a little wet. Now we got Kevin Baker. Outfield, Paul Parent left. Also out there is Daryl Pilon. What else we got? Charlie Holtzclaw and Chris Baker. Hit to third, long throw, just in time. Just in time. Guess that's the first out. Now Mike Stranahan. And Parent's going to have to go back again. He's not going to catch up with this one either. Going to have to start playing a deeper left field. And Stranahan's going to come all the way around. Well, Justin Burrell is the batter. One out. Bunch of runs in here for the Morrisonville-Keysville team. Misek pitching quick. Just gets the ball and puts it right back in there. And that's going to be over their head out there. Burrow. Going to hold him up. Now Bill Todd, the batter. It's it too short. Parent over to Bosley. 2 down. Runner does not advance. Burrow stays put at third. Now Erica Holtzclaw.
Level point, ball, level point.
Ninth batter. Well, 5 runs in this inning for Morrisonville-Keysville. Hit the Bosley. If they get unassisted, we're going to go to the bottom of the second. 7-2, Morrisonville-Keysville leading.
The same thing. Let's put it that way. But not like
Gary Barcombe, the batter. Pitch from Maggie. We've looked closely at the shirts and actually say Keysville-Morrisonville instead of Morrisonville-Keysville.
Go, 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 go.
That's going to drop in. Barcombe get a stand-up triple. Now Daryl Pilon. (7-2) Keysville-Morrisonville leading Shazy. We're in the bottom of the second. Pilon draws the walk to be runners at the corners. Nobody out. Charlie Holtzclaw, the batter.
Smart running with him, Craig.
First one.
Good eye, good eye. Good eye.